Okay, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Town of East Bridgewater Board of Health meeting, Monday, December 6, 2022. We have no hearings scheduled for this evening. So we're going to start off with invoices. We have Amazon invoice for office supplies, the amount of $624.06. Foxit Software Incorporated, Foxit PDF Editor Pro License, $179. WB Mason invoice for $102.01 for office supplies. WB Mason invoice for $69.56 office supplies. So I will make a motion to approve these invoices as presented.
Second.
Okay, second. Tom, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. You in favor or opposed?
Aye.
Aye, there we go, so it's unanimous. Okay. And we have the minutes from our November 7th meeting, 2022. I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Motion?
Okay, motion Tom, second Lyons. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so that's approved. Okay, disposal system construction permits. So new construction, we have 28 to 30 Keith Place.
Variance request for local upgrade
Yep, why don't
approval.
you, so,
Want me to read them for you?
yep, why don't you go ahead?
Okay, variance request for local upgrade approval from 15/20/12 to allow 3 feet to groundwater. Variance request for the use of a sieve analysis instead of a perk test. Variance request from a setback to the bordering vegetative wetlands, 32 feet, required is 50. Variance request from a setback to a foundation from leaching area, 6 feet, required is 20. This is the best they can do under maximum feasible compliance. Okay. 1257 Washington Street, local upgrade approval, from 15/20/12 to allow 3 feet to groundwater, 4 feet required in this case. 6 Central Street, local upgrade approval, 8-foot setback from the grease trap to the foundation wall, 10 feet required. That's the old co-op where they're gonna put in an Italian takeout.
Okay, no, I'm sorry, where is that again? 6 Central Street
Central
is?
Street is right down here with the,
No, I know just which building is it?
they
Which-
it's the white one that was for sale on the corner of Central and Skinner's is on.
Okay, all right, that's the one that's been vacant for decades.
Yep,
Okay.
they wanna make it into a takeout food place, so they need a grease trap.
Yeah,
We don't have
okay,
a ton of room there, so
right,
that's why he's asking for that variance.
okay.
627 Bridge Street, residence, local upgrade approval to allow 3 feet to groundwater, 4 feet required. 130 Brenda Avenue, local upgrade approval to allow 3 feet to groundwater, 4 feet required. And that's it for repair.
Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so we have 5 requesting,
Variances.
yeah, variances on. All right, so I will make a motion that we accept these 5 new construction local upgrades. So motion Lyons, do I have a second?
Well, second.
Second Tom. Any further discussion? No? Okay, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so these motion passes. Okay, so now we have new construction, so obviously there's no variances.
Required.
So 0 Hereford Lane,
They don't have an address for
they
it.
don't have an address yet, okay,
So this would just be a motion to approve?
okay. So it's just new construction, there's no variance. So, motion to approve Lyons, do I have a second?
Second.
Second Tom. Any further discussions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, food establishments. So Deng's Garden, we have a transfer of ownership. And 2023 establishment renewals, okay.
For Dangs, they are wanting to do a transfer now. They have 2.5 weeks left on the 2022 license.
Yeah,
Licenses are not transferable, so he has to take out his own license.
right, right.
And then he renewed for 2023. Do you want to add 2.5 weeks on to the 2023? Or do you want to make him pay for another year?
When was the last time they were inspected? You were over there
Oh,
recently.
oof, let me think. Month ago?
Okay,
I've been in 4 times, not because they've been horrendous,
Okay.
but because they were going through a transfer.
all right, so they're not strangers to us. We've been over there and you're comfortable
No.
with their operation, okay.
With both of them, the new and the
So,
old.
so what are we looking to do? Add 3 weeks to the end of the year?
Yeah, licenses are usually, you
Yeah.
know, January
Right, right.
2023 to December 2023. I'm proposing that maybe you want to make it December 5th, 2022 to December 2023. Just, the other option is to make them pay for a full 2022 license.
All right, well, wouldn't we want to go to the 31st?
We issued, 2 separate ones
We'll go December 5th,
to December 31st, 2022, and then
right.
he also came in for renewal of, for an application for the 2023,
So then January.
January 1st to
Yeah, okay.
2023 to December
All right.
31st, 2023.
So I'll make a motion that we extend Deng's Garden, transfer the license, extend the license from December 5th to December 31st, 2022, the expectation they'll be reapplying for 2023.
They have.
Okay, so that's motion Lyons,
Second?
second Tom. Any further discussions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That passes. Okay, 2023 food establishment renewals.
I have that.
She's going to give you the sheet. So what we did is just run down the address and the name of those who have renewed.
That have renewed or
by-
applied to
By
renew.
now, applied to renew.
Okay,
It's about 40 out of our 80, so we're halfway there.
Why don't we have that? Hold on.
This is the food
okay,
estate.
so we have no body art,
Just to let you know that, not yet.
okay?
They are notoriously late. So there's our food renewals to date for 2023.
Now, for our next meeting, I'm assuming we'll have some more.
Correct.
Then will we also have a bounce up that people who have not applied, that are in
Well-
danger of,
Well, hopefully we'll be able to get to them before.
okay,
Yeah, so
My
we should have a complete list.
Yeah, my procedure is usually to call 2 weeks before the end of the year. Say,
okay,
hey, I haven't received your application. You know, you need to have it in before December 31st so that we can renew it.
okay.
And then to let them know that if they don't renew it, they will be closed. They can't operate after that date.
And is anybody on vacation during that process? Are we got coverage, okay, all right, just want to make sure that.
We do.
Okay, very good. All right, so I'll entertain a motion to accept the 2023 food establishment renewals as presented in attachment A.
Motion?
Okay, motion Tom, second Lyons. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That passes. Okay, so again, we have no body art. We have 2 installers license, disposal work installers, license for Liam DeLaury, and then license for Michael Silva.
These are for 2022.
I'm sorry?
These are for now. They're doing work now.
Gotcha.
Their licenses also expire when the year ends.
Okay, so we have 2 installer licenses for the remainder of 2022.
Yep.
Liam DeLaury and Michael Silva. I'll entertain a motion to accept those as presented.
motion.
Okay, motion Tom, second Lyons. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, that passes. Okay, we have 2 betterment loans.
We have been
Or
going
do we
through
have
the
one?
process, and it's kind of muddled, so we're just looking. for
Review
the board-
updated local septic management program application question is. Okay, so we have 1 betterment loan and then a discussion on,
Well, you want
The process itself.
discussion first.
Want to do the discussion first before you?
yeah, no, I agree.
So it's been kind of muddled, so we're just trying to make it a little bit straightened out and the criteria becomes clear. That's what we're looking for. Did you give her the sheet? Do you have this one?
They're gonna have that, but hold on, I want them to have also too. They can have this.
Okay. So I just put a ton of work into this, and I have
So
2
this
access.
is what we can just review. So this is the new form, and then there's also, which I sent as the attachment.
Mhm.
And then this here would just be just an updated on that.
Okay.
And then what we'd like to do is, it goes into the back too, is just quickly have a discussion on this. As, the person- Just so that we have more clarification, so we can go forward with it, the program.
Are these duplicates?
They are.
Okay.
Oh, yes, yep.
Betterment application submitted with copy of deed and a letter from assessor's office stating no stating. Okay, so this would be an addition that's highlighted in yellow. Is
Yes.
that my understanding?
Yeah.
The form?
Yeah.
The form, yes, yep. This sheet right here is just strictly our internal process. But we just still wanted you to review it, and that, what you're seeing right there, Rob, is the form that the applicant will actually have.
Okay, so the applicant itself is going to get a copy, they're going to supply the copy of the deed with a letter from the assessor's office.
No, we have to do that.
We're going to
I
get
think we're
that.
gonna do that.
Okay.
It's just reminding us that that's the step it needs to come into.
Okay. All right, so that becomes an addition to our internal process. Confirm system, blah, 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 confirm, yep, subject betterment application is approved, next steps. Okay, so Board of Health reviews estimate to ensure available funding. Betterment loan is approved or denied. So I think this brings up a question that, Jean Marie, that you and I had, and you might have had a discussion with others, that we have outliers on estimates.
And
as
that's
far
why
as-
the estimates.
I'm sorry?
That's why we require estimates.
Right, but so in that case, so let's just say we have 3 estimates. Is it our decision, the board's decision, to make that selection, or does the customer make that selection?
It should be the customers. But
Okay.
it's so that we put enough money aside
Mhm.
in that pot.
But what I'm concerned about, the outliers on the estimate. Is somebody out there, I'm not saying this has happened, but is somebody out there padding an estimate for, so what's the process to identify those outliers? Is it 20% above what the average is? Is it 10%? We should be looking at some sort of metrics that says, okay, these 2 are in line, this third one is out of line. What's the justification for that extra spend?
I know what you're saying. I don't have an answer to that.
Okay, so
Or if you put something that says if it's 15% more, you need to justify it, or something like that.
I would think so.
You know
I
what I
mean, again, that's, I would think that should be part of the approval process.
Right.
Is to make sure that there's nobody out there that's, taking advantage of a homeowner, or, unfortunately, a homeowner taking advantage of the system.
Right, right.
So in the approval process, we're not supplied anything that says, okay, this is within the parameters of the last 10 that we've done.
No, and that's tough to do, because what drives up that cost is, frankly, whether or not they're near wetlands
Okay,
and water
understand.
table issues.
But there should be, I would think that if we looked at the last 10 to 15
Yep.
betterments, that, we're gonna have a midpoint. And if we look at the outliers, what drove that? Are they acceptable? And then can we apply that metrics say yes, looking forward, it falls within that parameter, so we can just comfortably move on. You know, understanding that you're going to have the gap, because not everyone is gonna be the same. You know, every situation is different. Some are gonna be less, some are gonna be more. But again, I'm just concerned that that there might be a pendulum that's swinging too far outside the norm.
And I think it's kind of two processes for the board. One is we see if they meet the criteria. So that's one, denial or approval. And then two is you approve or deny the loan. At the point you hit the loan end of it, those are questions you can ask. Or those are questions I can
But I think
get
you'd
more
wanna ask
info
those
from.
questions when the estimate, before the shovels are in the ground.
Well, it is because
Well,
you're not gonna give them the loan agreement.
Right, you're gonna, right.
Yes.
But we're a little bit down past the estimate point where we could probably help the homeowner out. So I guess what I'm looking at is we've got approved or denied here highlighted. So what are we saying that we're basing that approval on?
On the estimate that was given, that they presented.
Estimate.
Right, but unless we have something to measure it against, don't really know if that, am I making sense?
Yep.
No, you are. I know that we briefly just spoke with Lisa
Yeah,
on that, and so I don't know if there needs to just be more clarification on the role of the board, approving or denying, or are we just a gateway to, there's funding already that's established?
Mhm.
And as long as they meet the criteria and an estimate is given, it's not for this, and I'm not sure. It's not for the board to say whether that estimate, I don't think we have any say in regards to the estimate. It's just an estimate that's being presented, and we have the funding for it. And
so if the funding's available, then it's almost like we're just rubber stamping it. We're not really
Right.
doing any analysis and approving it.
No,
Correct.
we
We're
don't have,
just,
We're not
your
doing
point, the
that.
gateway, just letting it go through.
yes,
I think we should look at that a little bit further.
okay.
And, you know, Lisa is the chair, so I think she should have the opportunity to be part of that discussion as well.
so would you want to table the discussion on that to the next meeting?
So step one, I think we're all in agreement. And
Yeah, okay.
the step two, the approval denial, I think that a little bit more discussion and clarification before we go ahead and
Okay.
take a swing at that. And then on the application itself, I don't see anything, are there any changes that you're thinking about?
We just updated it and just made it probably more, a little bit user-friendly.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna hang on to these two. All right, so we still have a betterment that we need to work through here. So we have 572 Bedford Street, owner-occupied multifamily, business-owned, all right. So we have the application in process, or it's already in-house?
If you go to the second page of this, the questions,
Yep,
the two questions at the end are kind of like the two that are up for you tonight.
okay, so where am I looking, step 5?
Questions the board on how the board
Okay.
wants to handle applications submitted from owner-occupied multifamilies, but not residential properties. We can't do commercial ones, and they have to be owner-occupied.
Okay, which this one
So-
is,
A multifamily
572 Bedford
in a
Street,
business
owner-
zone,
Yeah,
this
is
is the
occupied
first one we've gotten
multifamily.
from that one. That's, do we have it floating here, or is it 572?
It's 570.
Application submitted for owner, okay, can
Yeah, I have
applicant come back
copies
to
of
the board for
This
additional
is my
funds?
copy packet.
So how often does that happen, that the applicant comes back for additional funds?
What has been happening in the past, and it hasn't happened since I've been here, but it has happened, is we've gotten someone who was estimated, and not all our applications have an amount on them. You've had someone that you said max 50,000 or so, and it's, he comes back needing 10,000 more. So what he didn't do the first time through was roll in the engineering. Like, going to COMCOM and that kind of stuff. So that came out about 87,000, so that's what he's asking for, additional funds. Do you have that one up there?
You have it right here.
And that's this one here.
Okay, but it's not 572 Bedford Street?
No.
Not an additional funding application, is it?
So there's multiple layers in this
Questions, yeah.
betterment. So you're right now, you're referencing the
572 Bedford Street.
572 Bedford. So we could, and then Jean Marie brought up in regards to this document here, applicants submitted for owner-occupied multifamily, not residential property. The reason that was just brought up was because the 572 Bedford Street is owner-occupied, it's a multifamily. And it's the first time that that's being presented to the board
The first kind of that.
for a betterment request. So this is the first time you're seeing a multifamily owner-occupied property presented to you.
But if you'll see, when she originally applied, look at the town. Nope, it
No,
should be a piece of
that's the
paper.
wrong packet.
Right in front of you, there should be a paper, wasn't there?
What, this one here?
Don't we have five?
No, the one underneath?
Oh, okay, yep. Which is why I got questioned it the first time through.
West Bridgewater.
Okay,
She's in East Bridgewater,
so,
but that's got 4 units. We approved the plans last time, and it has a little cottage that the owner now lives in. And it's right up on Bedford Street, which is commercially zoned, which probably doesn't make a difference as long as it's residential. So you want to accept those?
okay, so whoever filled out the application put in West Bridgewater, not East Bridgewater.
And then the applicant just recently, last month, came back, and we have all the documentation, and switched to owner-occupied at that residence. Her driving, we got a copy of her driving license, we got a copy of bills, and everything showing that she is in the property. But Jean Marie's referencing that the initial application was from outside of East Bridgewater.
And since we've only done with
Okay.
single-family homes
So
before.
it's an East Bridgewater address, East Bridgewater phone number.
Mhm.
They just, for some reason, put West Bridgewater on the header of the application. Everything else says East Bridgewater.
And she does live there now.
Okay, so we've done the due diligence to make sure that it's owner occupied.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Her name's on the deed, it's, so.
okay. So we go back to whether or not the betterments are for owner occupied multifamily.
That's a decision from the board, I think.
Okay, so I don't have my folder with the bylaws. I think we'd have to go back and check the bylaws.
What bylaws? This is the betterment.
Well, okay, but what's, all right, so what's the, so somewhere in the betterment guidelines, there should be something that tells us yes or no.
It's not, it's gray. It says owner-occupied residential property.
Okay,
Does this fit
okay.
that definition? Do you guys want to include it in that definition, I guess is what I'm saying. This is the first one we've got that's not a single-family home.
Okay.
That's why I'm
so-
saying that.
All right. So that's where I lost you. So it's owner occupied
Residential property.
residential. Okay, and this is stating that is owner occupied multifamily.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. All right, so looking at our do we have another meeting in December?
No,
We have nothing for the
No,
remainder.
we have December
decide.
19th, and Lisa wanted us to present it, seeing if we were going to hold the December 19th, or we would just go into January due to the holiday. That was coming up next.
Okay.
We haven't got there yet.
I'm under the impression that with these two, the pieces that are going to require further discussion and a little bit of homework, that December 19th would be prudent.
Okay, the only problem is one of these is in construction.
Which-
245 Highland Street.
Yeah, but we haven't got to 245 yet.
Yeah,
Still on
that's-
572.
Oh,
And I don't see 245 on the agenda.
it was part of the betterment.
Okay. Was that the
That's
loan?
the red folder in front of you.
Okay, all right, so this, all right, let's take a look at this. Okay, so this is part of that other discussion of where they're coming back and asking for additional. Okay, are there funds available?
Yes, for that amount, yes. For the
Okay.
additional 10,000, yes.
Okay, where's the amount? This is 10,000. I'm seeing 6,000 on here.
The original max was 50,000. The, he just wanted the extra 2,500 because he's got an electrician coming in and a plumber, so that it covers that too.
Do you have the email?
Hmm?
Do you have the email?
It should be right there. He has
In
it
there.
right in his hand, yeah. He may not use it, Rob, but
Okay, no, but I'm,
Just for
my,
this.
my only, I'm looking for it in here somewhere. That's right, I've got this last email. And it says and this is dated today.
yeah,
It says that I'd like to raise the loan to $6,000.
if you flip it over, you'll see where I said to him I had reviewed the invoices, and one was 47,000, the other was,
Okay, if you wish to increase the loan amount to include the amount over the approved 50,000, 10,000 or more, please submit a request each quarter of the board meets at 5. Okay, so do we have an official request for 10,000?
that's where he dropped one of the zeros off. He was trying to get it to 60,000, but it says 6,000, and then I called him and asked him, because it was late, and he doesn't check his email that often. Did he mean 6,000 to 56 or 60,000? He said 60,000.
Okay, we wish to increase the loan amount to include the amount over the approved 50,000, 10,000, so more, please submit a request each before Board of Health. The board meets today at 5, so the next scheduled board meeting is January, if we never receive this request. Okay, so you sent this off to him.
Yep.
Do we have a request back?
Isn't there, email says I would like to up it to, I know, I hate these running emails when they're like this.
Okay, when writing, respond, please, look at the one, let's see if it's,
The one that I wrote on the bottom.
so, right after your ask to him, or the homeowner, your ask to the homeowner is asking them to, for them to submit a request to the East Bridgewater Board of Health.
Right.
Okay, but I don't see that request. I just see your salutation at the end. Page 3.
There's one up that says he's requesting
Okay, when we're responding.
6000.
Okay, so, well, tell me if I'm wrong. This page 3 is just a continuation of your salutation.
And I asked him to clarify whether he wants 6,000 or he wants 60.
Okay, you're gonna have to show me where. I don't see it in there.
So here's my sorry, Russ, please clarify, and then here's, I would like to, going forward. And then I called him to
Right,
to
so
clarify.
that says that.
Right, he didn't have, he's an older gentleman, he checks his email once a day, so I called him. See, I called at 3:30.
Okay, so, so technically, we're waiting for something to officially come back from this individual.
Right, he verbally said
Okay,
it to me.
okay.
I will definitely follow it up.
Can we, why don't, if we tentatively approve it, and when you get the request and the paperwork's filled out, I hate to having everybody swing by and sign it. We just need 2 signatures, right?
You haven't signed the agreement with him yet.
Then I don't feel comfortable doing this until it's all squared up. I've got a handwritten note. We don't have anything back from him. He's asking for a certain figure. And then even in his response, I don't see the additional request.
Okay.
So let's see what we can do to get that back to us as soon as possible.
Okay.
And it's not on the agenda, but we can, we can. Okay, so that still leaves us with 572, right?
Yes.
And 572, we're going to pause until December 19th. Okay, with regards to the betterment loan of 245 Highland Street, I'm going to make a motion that we tentatively approve. So we would be changing the application to a total of 60,000. Is that what we'd be doing? Or amending?
That's what I'm thinking, yes.
And right now it's for 50,000, correct? Okay. So I'm going to make a motion that we tentatively approve the 60,000 application once we have the corrected application from the consumer, from the homeowner.
Okay.
So that's a motion, Lyons. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, second, Tom. Any further discussions? So while we're on the topic, you're gonna try to reach out to the homeowner tomorrow, or as soon as possible?
Probably tonight.
If you can do it tonight, that'd be
Yeah.
great.
Meeting's over.
And then, if he needs to redo the application, so be it, going from 50 to 60, or is it a $10,000 amendment, but we gotta have something from the homeowner
Right.
stating that that's requested. And then when we get that back, we can sign it accordingly.
Right, we still have the agreement to make up with him,
Okay,
the 17-page with the deeds
Yep.
and everything. And the
Okay.
amount on it.
all right, so fair enough. So
So we're
it
still-
won't tie him up for too long, other than he needs to get the requested application in.
Right, okay.
Or the updated, whether it's an amendment, an amended application, or just a new application with the correct amount. I think that's fair.
Yep.
Okay, so, any other further discussions on this motion? Okay, so I have a motion Lyons, a second Duquette. Any other discussions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, this is a tentative pass. Okay, so that is part of this folder, correct?
Yep.
Okay, very good, all right. Okay, so just to recap, 572 is going to be a push until December 19th? Is that the right date? Okay. Okay, so our first set of meetings for January will be January 9th, January 23rd, and then moving into February, February 27th. And then we'll also be scheduling a meeting on December 19th for any year-end cleanup. Jean Marie, do you have any updates?
Did send it to you, but we'll go through it quickly. Multiple site assessments, i.e. perks, obholes, et cetera, have been performed in the last 2 weeks. 218 Anna Drive, 165 Bridge Street, and 229 Crescent Street, 137 Cedar Street, 2830 Keith Place, and 505 North Central Street, and 279 Union Street for repairs. So expect those to be coming in. We did a couple of obholes on Friday out in between Industrial Way and Central Street, the project we've been working on for a while.
Right.
A new construction. That's a new subdivision. Repairs for approval, we went through those earlier. New construction was 0 Hefford Lane Extension. It will have an address eventually. Systems under construction, 587 Plymouth Street, 42 Washington Street, 505 North Central, 190 Walnut, 230 Pond, 451 Central Street, 6 David Lane, and 245 Highland Street. 230 Pond Street and 441 Central Street were inspected by a septic consultant on November 23rd. I was out for 2 days during Thanksgiving, and they were done by Rob Buchner. 41 North Central Street has come back again. That's the one on the pond. The installer dropped a load of loam and did nothing with it. So it's sitting there.
Okay, 41 North Bedford, right?
North Bedford, yes. It's right on the pond. 2 problems. One is the top of the system's now eroding away because it wasn't stabilized. As he said he was gonna do it, and he took the hay off it and left the dirt there. Number 2 is he dropped the loam on someone else's property. So I got this big 7 or 8 foot pile of loam that's just sitting there in a parking lot. So that's gonna wash into the pond if we get a bad storm. We've been dealing with this individual. We're going on 9 months now for this one septic. What do you want
So,
to do?
well, has, I mean, the homeowners tried to reach out.
This is one of those that the permit was under the original owner, and then the house was sold, and now it's the new owner. And he was angry that he didn't get the certificate of compliance, but we didn't know who he was. Because we had none of our applications say his name on it, the new owners. So we just dealt with the original owner. So basically, we have an eroding septic system with dirt sitting in someone's yard or someone's parking lot that's gonna wash away into the pond. Because that's the way the runoff goes. Do you want me to see if I can get him in to talk to you guys?
Well, I'd send him a letter first, but, I mean.
We've done that. He's had 3 or 4 different letters. He's been warned that he'll be fined under the ticketing system.
Okay, I'm sorry, I was deaf in my left eye. What was that?
He's had 3 or 4 letters
Yeah.
warning him. He was told to put the system in 3 months or less because we've had problems with him before, and we're way beyond that.
Did you say ticketed?
We warned him that he would be ticketing, that he could be fined for each and every day he did not comply. And he was originally given a deadline of September 30th to finish.
December 30th?
September,
September, okay, so we're way past September 30th.
yeah.
Okay, so we should have that on our next agenda for possible fines
Okay.
and any other action.
Once we hit the end of the year, there's no action to take. He's not renewing his license, so.
Okay, let's put it on the agenda for the 19th. I think we may have to reach out to Chris and see what our options are.
You fine him? Or you call him in before the board?
Well, but not just that. I mean, what are all of our options available to us? So,
Unfortunately.
I mean, it's not on the agenda, so I can't,
Right.
we can't do anything tonight. So what we can do is we can do our research, we can get it on the agenda, get him in here, and then between now and then, we'll work with Chris and see what else is, anything that we can do. Or what are all of our options?
Okay.
Is there anything we can do today?
Well, I would have suggested call him before you on your next meeting. You can discuss the options with him then. When you hit the end of the month, he doesn't have a license here.
Right,
so there's
that's-
nothing for you, no action you can take against him.
Right, that's why it needs to be on the agenda for the 19th. So yes, we will invite him in
Okay, that's,
for the 19th. We
I'm
will
sorry, I
have
was
him
missing
in,
that.
and we will be prepared with an answer from Chris's team on what our options are. And then we can, once we have all our cards on the table, we can make the best decision moving forward.
Okay. I
Okay,
gotcha.
but no, we definitely gotta. Okay. So I put you on pause when we got to 41 North Bedford Street. Jean Marie, I apologize for that, so if you want
Oh,
to continue on.
I am sorry.
No, I'm the one who sidetracked you, so.
Food and step inspections, Dunkin' Donuts closed without notification or submission of plans as required by federal and state law. When they remodel, they're supposed to submit plans to the Board of Health. They were sent an order by email to do that. And then they requested an opening inspection on Wednesday, November 23rd. The problem was, when you send in plans, we set up an inspection schedule. Well, they just decided they were gonna close. They just decided they were gonna open Wednesday. They weren't ready Wednesday, so the consultant had to come back on Friday. This was Thanksgiving week. So we had to have someone else come in to take care of their inspections because they didn't let us know in time.
Okay, but as of right now, they are fully inspected and
And they're opened,
And they're
yes. They did move a hand wash sink, which I was concerned about because it's now about 25 feet from the takeout window where they prepare food to a hand wash sink. And
okay, do they need to adjust that?
I don't know, but I just know that during a rush hour, I can't see people running back to the sink if they spill stuff on them. I mean, they really did change the layout pretty heavily.
It looks like.
Yeah, I mean, but that should have been pre-approved.
Okay, so just getting back to the hand washing sink, if you can look into it, if it needs to be moved, then we should,
Okay,
I mean, if they're supposed to provide plans are supposed to be approved, they just shut down and reopened. So,
I bagged them in the middle of that, but
okay,
and kind of caught them up.
all right, well, just, if you could look into that for us, on whether that hand washing station does need to be moved or not.
All right. Permit renewals are ongoing, food establishments, installers, body art, et cetera. Housing ongoing concern for that one, 147th Thayer. And we have a vaccine clinic December 12th at the Council on Aging. Is everyone well attended? Got a lot of appointments? Don't know. That's my updates.
Okay, very good. Okay, anything else?
Nope, other than
All right,
signing.
again, just to recap, our next meeting is December 19th. And then going into 2023, our meetings will be January 9th, January 23rd, and February 27th. So with all of that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion?
Okay, has motion Duquette, second Lyons. Hearing any other discussion? There are none. So all in favor to adjourn, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, that passes. So thank you very much, everybody. That concludes our Board of Health meeting for Monday, December 5th, 2022.